You know what? If you guys want to fight, I can just leave you alone and I
No,
got other
please.
stuff to do.
I'm so sorry. I just like Amy, if I can. I mean, I apologize, Your Honor.
Okay, so Katrina Pimentel versus Haley Wilson. There you go. They're both on Zoom.
I'm here. Can you hear me, Judge?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
It's Katrina Pimentel and Christopher Pimentel versus Haley Wilson.
Yeah.
Ms.
It's actually
Wilson,
Karina.
And it's
I'm
actually
sorry.
Hallie.
Okay, where are we on this case, folks?
So I filed a motion to reopen the matter and proceed with eviction. Last time we were in court, you ordered her to pay, I believe it was, let me just pull it up here,
1035.
1035
Yes.
plus April rent. And she made the payment, I believe it was last week of the 1035, but she still owes April and May rent
I can't hear.
You,
because because of
ma'am,
whatever. I'm here.
ma'am, you're gonna have to stay someplace stationary because you keep going in and out.
I'm sorry. Is this okay right here? Can you hear me good?
Yep, I can hear
Um, be-
you.
because of whatever issues she's had with Section A, they have not paid her April and May rent either. So we actually have she's owed we are owed the entire month of April and May. We spoke to Section A. They said that they did not receive recertification paperwork from her, and that's why they held April rent. Um, and that they said they would release it, but as of yet, they have not released it.
That would be because they have sent two notifications to you about the inspection that they said that you have not responded to. And I did send you the correspondence that
No,
was sent.
Haley, we spoke to Section A, and they said that they had trouble getting in contact with you concerning recertification. That's why April rent has not been paid. You sent us a letter, and I have the messages for May, where you said you just received this May 1st for the inspection. That is the first time that I'm seeing that one.
Right. You're saying May. I'm just saying in April, I've got the email from her that says that they released it immediately. I mean, I sent you directly what they sent me. I mean, and they sent on that form is where it says that they wouldn't be doing May's because of the inspection that they hadn't heard back from you. And I can get that paperwork
You,
right now.
you're you muted yourself, so you were saying something and I didn't hear you.
I'm sorry. The only reason why we even found out about April rent is because we had to get on the phone and speak to Section A for hours trying to get a hold of someone to figure out why we weren't paid for April. And as of yet, they have not released payment for April. They said that the reason why they held payment is because they did not hear back from her concerning recertification, and that normally they would just cancel her voucher, but she ended up getting a nice case manager that said they just held payment instead to give her the opportunity to be able to provide the recertification paperwork so that they can release payments. But as of now, we have not been paid April and we have not been paid May, the entire rent amount. And, as far as last time we were in court, you set the amount of 1035 for her to pay plus the April rent. She just paid that last week. I'm just at the point where I just feel like this is going to be an ongoing issue, and it's been going on for too long. We've been patient. I just don't want to, be back in court again.
Well, I don't have anything that indicates she has a voucher, correct?
Correct.
Have you finished your research?
Oh,
Who
yes. And I've got
administers who administers your voucher?
CMA out of, they're like in a 231 area code up north, I believe.
That may be part of our problem. Amy, you have something to tell me?
Refer to the HCD retention team over at SOS that might be able to assist with teasing out the issue.
That's the other
Okay.
things I filled out for a SER, and my caseworker, Miss Lamar, she sent for shelter verification to be filled out by the landlord and had not received anything.
Okay,
So that
look, are
hindered
you
me.
guys gonna sit? let me ask you a question. Are you guys going to sit here and blame each other about everything, or do you guys want to try to solve this?
I'd love to solve it.
I mean, I would like to know what the options are. What's gonna like? What are going to be the options? Because right now, April and May rent is not fully paid. So I
All
just
right.
and it's kind of been an ongoing thing with her. It's we started in September, and yes, she once we filed in for eviction is when she started becoming responsive and making payments. But I just
I
don't
was
want
in
to
the
become.
hospital for a month. I died on the operating table 3 times due to sepsis, but I'm sorry.
All right, look, couple things. First thing is she's paid up through then March, correct? You're muted again.
Correct.
Okay. So she's paid up through March. It's April and May. There is I call it a division, but anyway, part of the housing um, programs here in Washington that will look at and try to assist the defendant in sort of working through the process so that she can get recertified, so that whatever the holdup is on the inspection, so that all of that can be accomplished. And I think what I'm going to do is um, refer her to that. Ms. Wilson, would you like to work with those folks?
Yes, please, please.
All right. Now, I'm going to explain this to both parties, and particularly to the plaintiff. I'm going to allow your case to be reopened. I think part of the thing that you should look at, ma'am, is that a lot of times some of the difficulties that may occur with a voucher are not related to the tenant. You may think that it is. You may contact Section 8 and they may say that it is the tenant doing something. I've been doing this for years on end, and particularly right now. And when I asked who administers her voucher, I can tell you there are issues with that group. So while I don't know for sure, this indeed may not be Miss Wilson's fault. If it's not Miss Wilson's fault, so that you can get this into your head, I'm not going to allow her to be punished for what may be the actions of a bureaucracy that she has to try to wind herself through, which somewhat has people who can't even do that bureaucracy right. And they will tell you things, they'll tell her things, and sometimes they'll even tell me things. So we're going to try to work it through.
Thank you
So,
so
Amy, if
much.
she's referred over there, how
I
much?
did an updated email and phone number. What I see here is not what it is here.
Pardon?
I just need an updated email.
For me,
Okay, Miss
HA.
Will. Well, hold on. I don't want you
Okay.
saying it to the whole
Okay.
world, because
Okay.
then goodness knows who'll be emailing you. Do we have her email? Well, Miss
Your
Wilson,
Honor,
do you know how to use the chat?
I do not.
Okay, what's it
hardly got
start with?
unmuted.
Well, what's the provider? Miss Wilson,
Yes.
is the Gmail address the good one?
That is correct.
Okay. Then
Judge.
you don't have a problem with us turning that over to Amy, do you?
Not at all. She's more than
Okay.
I would love that.
Your Honor,
And-
Your Honor, is there any way that she can at least pay her portion of what she's supposed to pay for April and May, or at least April something?
Well, here's part of the problem with that. What's her portion?
Haley, I think your portion just recently changed, correct, for May?
$610 a month. Correct.
I'm sorry?
$610 a month is my
Okay.
portion. And if
When
the
did that
heat,
change?
No, 610 is been, that's the same one. I thought that you said your portion was going to change again.
No.
That's the reason I'm asking. Okay, so $610.
but like I said, I mean, that's what I was filling. That's what I had filled the SER out for, as the judge had asked, told me that that was an option for me last time, and you didn't get back to my caseworker, so she had to close it.
I have not received anything.
I sent you it as well, but okay.
You know what? If you guys want to fight, I can just leave you alone and I got
No,
other
please.
stuff to do.
I'm so sorry. I just like Amy, if I can. I mean, I apologize, Your Honor.
Okay, so Ms. Wilson, do you agree that your portion is 610?
Yes.
Do you have the 610?
No, I do not. Not till the 17th. And like I said, I mean, my caseworker, they were gonna help me through DHS. I mean, get that caught up so I wouldn't be in this
I
bind.
know, ma'am, listen. Right now, then there's 2 months of that portion owing. Is that what you have, ma'am?
Are you, if you're asking me, yes.
Okay. Ms. Wilson, do you agree, based on at least the last recertification, that there would be $1,020 owed by you?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. So now come the 17th, what will you have?
I will have half of that. I will be able to just catch up on 1 month, because somehow in my paperwork, I thought that 1035 was out of the like $4,000 that I paid in the past month and a half. I somehow thought April's was in that amount. However, I guess it's not. So that's my
So through all of that, you're going to have $610
correct.
on the 17th.
Correct.
Okay. So what I'm going to indicate is defendant to pay $617 or $610 by the 17th
Got it.
of May. Okay.
It will
Now
be
that's
that.
going to be at least the April payment. Now I'm
Correct.
going to warn both. I'm going to warn both of you this. Well, Ms. Wilson, did you send in paperwork regarding your recertification?
Yes, sir. And I've also got the email from my CMA caseworker that stated that they have received it, that everything has been turned in, and that the payments for them would be reinstated effective immediately. And I like I said, I've got an email from.
Okay, I hear you.
Okay.
I'm just trying to make sure that your portion didn't change.
No, until my daughter has her third baby here in September, I think I'll be
Pardon?
the same. I said, until my daughter has her third baby here in September, the amount will still be the same, because it's still the same dwelling, because they all live with me.
All right. You pay that, you'll have somebody from OCD Hawk send you, you'll be getting an email. You need to
Okay.
follow the instructions on that email and contact.
You said
that
it's going to be
person.
through Hawk? Is that?
Well, it's going to come from you.
Okay, I just want to make sure, if I check for spam, like the emails sometimes don't all come through, so.
Okay, just look out for the email, follow the instructions. Got it?
You got it. Yes.
Okay. Now I'm just going to warn both of you. You get the 610 in. The problem for the plaintiff is this. I don't know how quickly I'm going to bet part of the logjam in all of this rests with CMA, doesn't rest with the plaintiff, doesn't rest with the defendant. And so it's going to be having the individuals from the county sort of unblock that for both of you. So both of you are going to have patience. All right. Now, if you come here and you don't have patience, then I just won't hear anything. And you guys can go be impatient someplace else.
Judge,
totally
I would just ask, can we have a status hearing or something just to make sure that there's some type of progress on everything? I just don't want this to sit and months go by and
Well, when am I gonna? I haven't given you a date to come back yet, ma'am.
I was just respectfully requesting a status hearing. That's all.
Okay, I've been doing this about 25 years. I know how to do it. I get it. Amy, if they start working on that, what are our averages of trying to get through with CMA? Is there a feel for that?
2 weeks.
2 weeks out? All right. So you pay on the 17th at 6:10. I'll adjourn this matter to May 24th, 2024 at 3 p.m.
May 24th, 3 p.m. You got it, and I'll have that in by next
The
Friday.
motion to reopen the case is granted. We'll see you then. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Your Honor. Have a good one.
Try Devin Allen. He didn't answer.
He did.
She was on and disappeared.
No, Devin Allen was driving.
Hello?
Oh, he was driving. That's right.
No,
Dunco
hello?
versus Allen.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. And how much does he owe?
2459.23. There's two defendants on it.
Yes. Allen, Devin Allen, and Danielle. All right. Sir, how are you intending on getting this paid?
I can have it paid off by the 31st. So I get paid on the 17th and the 31st, and my wife get paid on the 24th.
But you were last time we were here, you're gonna pay $800 by the 10th.
Yeah, so I was
Right.
so I was only able to come up with 400. That's right.
Did you pay that?
Yeah, I paid the 400.
My notes say that they were gonna pay that 800 and pay it all off by the 17th.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I talked to her name was Susie. I think we came to a resolution that if it was possible, if I can pay it off by the 31st.
I'm saying he's not telling the truth. I'm just saying that's
Well, but the problem is, Mr. Allen, you told me that the balance was at 2409.23 last time we were here on the 3rd. You were
Yeah.
going to pay 800 by the 10th. You didn't pay that. And now, and the balance, you told me at that time, the balance was going to be paid by the 17th. And now you're telling me you can't do that.
Well, I tried as hard as I can to come up with 800, but I was only able to come up with the 4. So.
But did you pay that to him?
Yes, I paid the 400.
When?
I paid 300 today before 3, and then I think I paid 100 Monday.
That would be showing up, but that doesn't make any sense because I got the same balance that I had last week plus a $50 late fee.
I mean, it's on there. I don't know if it's still processing or not. I can show you proof.
Well, they'll give you credit, but you told me what you were going to do. You're not doing it, so I'm going to find that there's no tribal issue. I'm going to grant them a judgment for possession in the total amount of the 2459.23. If there's proof of the $400 payment you say you made, then that will come off of that amount. But I don't have it. Mr. Fink is here and doesn't have it.
Okay.
And I grant that judgment, and I suggest you talk to them because I'm not giving it to the end of the month. The writ's going to issue the 20th.
Yeah, I already talked to her, so
All right, you talk
Yeah.
to him, but I'm issuing the judgment for the 20th.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, who else do I? Which one?
The
Trip.
record, it was 50 on the 6th, 50 on the 8th.
Got it. Gulfside Lakes versus Lakia Williams.
Hello.
Yes, she's here. And who else do we have on this? And Karan Williams. All right.
The total is $1,903.21.
$1,903.21. Okay. All right. Ma'am, how are you guys intending on getting this paid off?
So I put in 600 today, so now it's actually 1306.
You put in
And
how much? Hang on.
we put in 600 today.
Okay, you paid 600. Okay.
Yes.
And what was your plan on how to get the rest of it paid?
So I should have 1,000 to put down on it next week, like by the end, but I'm not sure if I could get the extra 300, but what I'm gonna do is
Hold on.
because
Hold on.
Mhm.
Hold on a second.
Mhm.
Let's work with what you're going to have here. Okay, so you think next week you'll have 1,000?
Yes, I'll have 1,000 to put on it by the end of next week.
Okay. Can you get that in before noon on the Friday?
Um, I'll try to, but at the latest it would be Saturday. But if I don't have the full 1,000 by then, I should at least have 800 of it by that Friday for sure.
Okay, so let's work with all right. So you think you can pay 800 by that Friday the 17th?
Yes.
Can you get that in before what's this time? Noon? Can you get that in before noon on Friday?
Yes.
Okay. So that I'm going to work with what you're telling me you're going to have, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And if you pay extra, that's going to be great,
Okay.
okay?
Mm-hmm.
So 800 by the 17th. Since you made that one payment there, we might be able to get this down. So what I'm going to do is I want that payment in. I'm going to adjourn it out
Mm-hmm.
1 week here, 17th, 2024 at 12 p.m. at noon. You get that 800 in there, and that's going to take your balance down. There might be a late fee that kicks in, but then we're getting down around that $1,000 figure. And let's see if we can get it paid and slow walk it and get you paid for May and get you out of this danger. All right.
Great, great. Thank you.
All right. Okay. We'll see you next week.
Right. See you soon. Bye.
And Ms. Barroso, if we could have the waiver.
Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Morgan Barroso, the people waiving potential conflict between this honorable court and the public defender's office. Though the people do not believe that such a conflict exists, the people make this waiver in avoidance of any doubt.
Right.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perry. The public defender's office likewise does not believe the conflict exists with anyone thousand.
The court, for its part, also does not believe there's conflict either under the Michigan court rules or the cases decided thereunder. To the extent one does exist, given the waivers, the court will consent to hear the matters. Court does call the case of the people versus Lakita Collier.
Good morning, Your Honor. Alexander on behalf of the people seeking permission to practice pursuant to Michigan Court Rule 8.120 under the supervision of Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Morgan Barroso.
Permission to practice is granted.
Thank you.
Morning. Is this an arraignment?
Yes.
All right. Lakita Collier?
Yes,
Yes, state your name, please.
Larkita Collier.
All right. Ma'am, you are before the court on a misdemeanor complaint that alleges that on or about December 5th, 2022, at the location of the Huron Valley Correctional Center, that you did commit the offense of aggravated assault against an Alicia Cotton. Do you understand the nature of that charge, ma'am?
Against who?
Alicia Cotton.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know who that is.
Okay. You understand what you're charged with?
Yeah,
Okay. That is a misdemeanor. It's punishable by up to 1 year incarceration and or a $1,000 fine plus court costs. A consecutive sentence on this may be imposed if the assault was committed in a place of confinement, like the correctional center. You understand that?
yes.
All right. Okay. The first question I have for you is, do you want to be represented by an attorney on this matter?
Should I?
Well, do you want to be represented by an attorney?
Yeah, or could we just, what can we do to
Okay.
just get this? Oh, okay.
Okay. This is a public defender case now. Okay.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Ms. Collier. We will stand mute, waive any further reading, ask for another pretrial. And Ms. Collier, I'll come out and you, okay?
Oh, well, can we just get it, can we just wrap it up now, whatever's imposed?
Well, let me say this to you. You may want the public defender to represent you and investigate the matter so that whatever term you have, you need to understand that the court could impose a consecutive sentence, which might add time to your confinement. And I don't know that you
Okay.
want, not saying that that will happen, but you might want to talk about it before you do anything.
Okay,
Okay, makes sense?
okay. Yes,
Defendant having waived formal reading, standing mute, court will enter a not guilty plea. Pretrial in this matter will be adjourned to. Pretrial is adjourned to June 5th, 2024, 9 a.m. I'll set the defendant's bond, actually, since she's confined, I'll set it at $1,000, 10% bond. No assaultive behavior. I'll order standard conditions, including no assaultive behavior or possession of any weapons. There's to be no, of course, possession of alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal drugs. I'm also going to indicate that you are not to have any contact with Alicia Cotton.
yeah, she's no longer in the prison, she went home.
Okay. All right. So no contact. All right. Thank you. Let's call the case. People versus Marcus Davenport.
On behalf of the people.
Yes. I do see him. Is he represented? It's another arraignment. Why do I have these? Anyway. All right, Mr. Davenport.
Marcus Davenport.
All righty, thank you. You are before the court on the charge of operating while intoxicated. That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail, $500 fine plus court costs. The court could order community service or any rehabilitative programs the court deems necessary. Court could order your vehicle immobilized and could order you to pay the cost of the prosecution as well as the cost of any emergency governmental service. You understand all of that, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, and you understand what you're charged with?
Yes, sir.
All right. This is, oh, by the way, it's alleged to have occurred on Washtenaw Avenue in Pittsfield Township on or about March 17th of 2022. First question I have for you, sir, is do you want to be represented by an attorney? I'm sorry?
Yes, well, I
Yes.
really just want to plead guilty to it.
Well, before you do that, you want to talk to an attorney about it?
No, I was guilty on the matters.
Well, okay. I'd advise you not to say anything at this point in time. All right? About it.
Okay.
And would you like to have an attorney so that they can help you take a look at the case? Pardon?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
This is a public defender case.
Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perry on behalf of Mr. Davenport. We will waive any further readings, stand mute, ask for another pretrial.
Defendant having waived formal reading, standing mute, court will enter a not guilty plea. Pretrial in this matter will be adjourned to, get one of these pens to work. Pretrial will be adjourned June 5th, 2024, 9 a.m. I'll set the defendant's bond. Where is he?
Adrian Regional Facility.
Gotcha. Okay. Are you expected, you're not expected to be out anytime soon, are you?
No, sir.
All right. Here's what I'll do. I'll set your bond at a $5,000. I'll give it 10%. I'll order standard conditions, including no assaultive behavior or possession of weapons, no alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal drugs. All right. Leave it there.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, sir. Court does call the case. People versus Chelsea Carr again.
Sam Bernstein, again, here with and on behalf of Ms. Carr.
Name?
Chelsea Carr.
Okay. No objection.
No objection, Your Honor.
Case is dismissed on the prosecutor's motion. Thank you,
Your Honor.
sir.
Thank you.
Court does call the case. People versus Ian Roar.
Alexander, on behalf of the people.
Sam Bernstein with and on behalf of Mr. Rourke. Is that your name? Ian Rourke.
Is this an arraignment?
It is.
All right.
Please waive reading. You're under stand mute. We do have a resolution to move forward with today.
Defendant having waived formal reading, standing mute for the purposes of arraignment, court will enter a not guilty plea. Yes. What are we doing?
And Your Honor, the offer in this case is to plead as charged under HIDA.
We wish to enter that plea today, Your Honor.
Has he signed an advice rights form?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Your Honor, there's no restitution in this case as well.
All right. And that's under HIDA.
Correct, Your Honor.
Thank you. May I have him sworn?
Right here. You swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. State your name.
Ian Rourke.
Sir, it is this court's understanding that you're going to plead guilty to the charge of retail fraud in the second degree.
Yes, Your Honor.
That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 1 year incarceration, a $2,000 fine plus court cost. The fine could be increased at 3 times the value of the property taken. If that's greater than $2,000, that would become the maximum fine. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Understanding all of that, you still wish to plead guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
And to that charge, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Now, you understand that by pleading guilty, you'll not have a trial of any kind.
Yes.
You signed an advice of rights form, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any question regarding any of those rights?
No, Your Honor.
Please look at paragraph 5. You'll see a copy on the podium. Those are your rights which are part of a trial. You understand that by pleading guilty, you'll be giving up those rights as well as all the rights on there.
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right.
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you on probation or parole?
No, Your Honor.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get you to plead?
No, Your Honor.
Anybody threaten you or coerce you?
No, Your Honor.
You're doing this voluntarily
Yes, Your Honor.
of your own free will
Yes.
because you believe that you're indeed guilty of this offense?
Yes.
November 4th, 2023, at the location of 2000 Waters Road in Pittsfield Township, Washington County, state of Michigan. What'd you do at the Target store that makes you think that you're guilty?
I walked in Target, a store open to the public, and I attempted to steal trading cards valued over $200.
Okay. All right. You tried to walk out of the store without paying for those?
Yes.
And like you said, it was open to the public?
Yes.
And these items that you took, these were items that were offered for sale by Target?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And the value was over 200, as you said?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has the court complied with the court rule? And would it be proper to accept this defendant's plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
The court will accept the defendant's plea of guilty to this charge. Defendant is referred to probation for a pre-sentence investigation and report and consideration of HIDA. Sentencing in this matter will be
June 12th at 9 a.m.
June 12th, 2024 at 9 a.m. Bond in this case, I don't think bond's been set. Bond in this case will be set as a personal recognizance $5,000 bond. Sir, as a condition of your release, I'll order standard conditions as well as no assaultive behavior or possession of any weapons. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
There's to be no use of alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal drug. And at this time, you're not to enter any Target store in the state of Michigan. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. Court calls case People versus Delgina Little.
Alexander, on behalf of the people.
Edward Drucas for Delgina Little.
No. No, I don't know.
I lost.
You're at a loss?
I've attempted to reach her by the phone numbers I have. I do understand that she is not in custody.
Bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear. Bond will be set in amount of $5,000, 10%. There have been previous warrants. So this warrant will issue immediate. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court calls case People versus Cynthia Russell.
Alexander, on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. Tina Saxon on behalf of Cynthia Russell is approaching and standing to my right.
What's your name?
Cynthia Russell.
Thank you.
Good morning. We're requesting a date for a final settlement conference.
And jury selection. All right. Jury final settlement conference will be June 7th, 2024, 9 a.m. Jury selection, if necessary, June 10th, 2024, 8:30. Both of those proceedings are in person.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, the June 7th you said is 9 o'clock?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Court calls the case People versus Stephen Richmond.
Alexander, on behalf of the people.
They are.
Yeah.
And good morning, Your
Oh,
Honor.
there
Rich
it is.
Davis appearing with Mr. Richmond, who's present in the Zoom. Mr. Richmond, state your name.
Stephen Richmond.
All right, very good. Good morning. All right, what are we doing?
Judge, we adjourned this last time for the prosecutor to reach out to their victim to see if we could, I made a proposal. And they were going to reach out to their victim to see if their position on what I proposed.
Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Morgan Burroughs on behalf of people. I have not heard from Mr. Davis since the last pre-trial, so I have not had an opportunity to discuss this with him, and I don't negotiate on the record.
I wasn't asking for a negotiation. We discussed it last time we were in person, and said you would reach out to the victim.
Reach out to me via email or by phone, and I will gladly discuss this with you. Otherwise, we should adjourn it or set it.
Okay.
All right, what do you guys want to do? Adjourn it?
We can adjourn it, Judge.
Okay. Nice to be part of that conversation. I'll adjourn the matter to June 5th, 2024 at 9 a.m. All right, give you guys a chance to talk to each other. All right, bond will continue. Thank you, Mr. Richmond. Court calls the case People versus Kenneth Hoffman.
Alexander, on behalf of the people.
And good morning again, Your Honor. Maurice Davis appearing with Mr. Hoffman, who's present appearing via Zoom. Mr. Hoffman, state your name.
Kenneth Hoffman.
What are we doing on this?
And Judge, I was recently retained on this matter, so when I have an opportunity to request a discovery and speak to the prosecutor.
All right. So you'd like an adjournment?
Yes, please.
I'll adjourn the matter June 5th, 2024, 9 a.m. Bond will continue with its conditions.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. Court does call the case People versus Gerald Anderson.
Alexander, on behalf of the people.
Public Defender Natalie Pate for Mr. Anderson, who is approaching. Please state your name for the record, sir.
Gerald Anderson. Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. Today's the day and time set for pretrial. We are respectfully requesting a brief adjournment in order to further discuss the discovery with Mr. Anderson.
All right. I'll adjourn the matter June 5th, 2024, 9 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Bond with its conditions will continue. Thank you, sir. Court calls case People versus Kiana Armstead.
Alexander, on behalf of the people.
But you breaking the place or what? Yeah.
Ms. Armstead, can you only state your name for the record, please?
Kiana Armstead.
Thank you.
We're asking to set this for final.
Jury final settlement conference will be June 7th, 2024, 9 a.m. Jury selection, if necessary, June 10th, 2024 at 8:30. Both of those proceedings are in person. Thank you. On continued.